too much. So that's one of the important things to consider. And then if you're worried about layer tech and stuff, you could take it the third and fourth gas a little bit later. But those kind of gas timings, like that's what makes StarCraft StarCraft. You know, you gotta plan everything out, make sure you have something going in. You don't just kind of whip it up on the spot.
That's very true. I will say, see, I am fairly new to StarCraft, and I try out Zerg. Like, I'm used to StarCraft 1 Zerg. When I play StarCraft 2 Zerg, like, you know the Mimi, the dog, pouring chemicals? I have no idea what I'm doing when I'm Zerg. No idea.
I mean, the gas timings are definitely different from both games, especially because, you know, in StarCraft 1 there's only one gas geyser. For StarCraft 2 there's two per base, so you kind of have to fine-tune it a little bit further, I want to say. Like, it's a lot more minute, the increments. It's in smaller increments, so it's not just kind of like get gas. It's like get a little bit of gas, or more gas, or some gas. So there's a lot of, like, you know, wiggle room and stuff to figure out there, which it might be intimidating, but it's still basically the same thing in principle. Like, you know, when are you going to get gas? When do you need it? When do I need gas? I need it for this, because I want to do, you know, this thing on this map. It just kind of goes on and on.
It's very true. Though, for Zerg, how many different styles do you have to go into in-game? Like...
well, pretty much with any race, the map's obviously going to be the decider for the strategy you use.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you have, like, a, you know, sick PvZ strategy, but if you play Zerg on Steps of War, like, you know, that's one of those, like, super close distance rush maps, like, you kind of have to change your plan a little bit. Or say, like, the Old Lost Temple, where there was a cliff or a ledge right overlooking the natural. Like, that ledge is so strategically important that, like, whatever plan you do has to address that. Otherwise, you're just going to lose. So, you know, that kind of stuff really kind of dictates what plans or what strategies you can even develop to a certain extent. But overall, I'd say, you know, there's some strategies that go for faster layer, others that go for slower layer. And the slower the layer you go, generally you get more drones out, the better economy you have earlier on. So, I mean, that's excluding cheese and other stuff like that.
It's very true. I have been cheesed a lot myself, and it's kind of like, come on, guy. Come on, cheese is no fun. Do you see a lot of cheese at that higher end?
Oh yeah, I mean, you're just never going to stop seeing cheese, because it's
a win's a win, I guess.
A win is a win, and also it's one of those things where, like, you just have to mix it up no matter, not even no matter if you're serious or not, but if you're serious about the game, like, you especially have to mix it up, because you can't always just do, you know, standard, or, like, kind of a longer oriented game. Like, sometimes you just have to bust out the special tactics, and brushing it up on the ladder is one of the ways to do it. But, like you said, a win's a win, but sometimes that kind of stuff gets annoying, because if that's all you do, then it really kind of stunts your own, you know, growth as a player. And I don't know about you, but it's not always fun playing against stuff that you just lose, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, I've recently seen a guy on ladder. Suppose you've heard of him. He's a Terran, and every game, all he ever does is all-in Marines and SCVs. Every game. And I believe he is a lower masters with it. I think his name is actually, like, Marine SCV.
that kind of gives away his thing, I guess. Yeah, Marine SCV used to be really powerful. Like, some people have gotten the GSL, Korean, like, really prestigious tournament, like, gotten pretty far just doing that. Like, the guy's name was Bit by Bit, but I don't know what happened to him. Go ahead.
It's so hard to stop. Like, for Terran, I know, you have to get a bunker or two out right away. It's the only way you can defend it. But if you don't get out early bunker, and it's really hard to actually scout early, and I don't know.
Yeah, it can be pretty tricky. I know for Zerg, like, you definitely have to pull drones, because you can't just say I've got things. He's pulling his workers too, so you just have to commit everything to stop it. But just in terms of, like, how you should deal with that kind of play in general, where the opponent is just going for complete all-in, like he doesn't have any transition whatsoever, then you can't get greedy and be like, well, if I hold this off and have an economy, I'm going to be way ahead. No, like, you do that, you just straight up die. You just got to commit everything you've got to stopping it, because chances are you're not going for an all-in already, so you already have that extra stuff. Like, if the game keeps going, like, you're going to be at an advantage. You already have the tech in place, or you already have more workers, or you already have more buildings to build stuff. So as long as you hold it off, you're okay, and you just gotta completely focus on stopping it, because stopping it or not stopping it is just the only thing that matters at that point.
Are they gonna put Cuz in again?
It should actually be possible if they want to. Cuz did only win one game, so he could be jokered back into play.
So we do have Candide playing. Is that correct, or is he just in number 1 spot?
Let's see. Actually, I have no idea who's playing for Binary yet. So I guess we're gonna have to find out together.
It looks like they are playing Cuz. And it looks like we do have Candide, so it's gonna be a TVP. It's what I've been waiting to watch all day.
VBT CGB.
And we do have Corey Anderson in Ventrilla right now. Good friend of mine.
Sweet.
I'll shut the fuck up.
I am gonna leave vent. Sorry, Corey. Don't swear too much when we're streaming like this. It is hard for me not to.
Yeah.
So, I'll talk to you as soon as this is over, Corey. Hopefully this is gonna be our last match, looking like it should be.
Alright, I'm gonna play BF3.
Alright, just had to talk to him there. So it does look we have Candide. Is a very good Terran player for Binary. Who would you say is our best Terran player over on Binary side?
Probably Paradise. He's also in the lobby right under me.
Yep.
I haven't seen him play too much in TVT and the like. But overall, like I think in the ladder, he's the highest ranked. He's got a lot of respect among the team members, and yeah, overall, like I think he would be the high skilled member of Terran.
Alright, so should be a good match nonetheless. I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna see Marine Marauder Medevac Vikings with a few ghosts. I'm calling it. That's what it's gonna be.
It sounds like that's pretty strong on this map, especially.
It is a very large map.
Yeah, Crossfire is definitely one of those maps where the map size itself, like how big it is, doesn't necessarily dictate how large it feels, and a lot of that has to do with like the rush distance, like how long it actually takes to get to your opponent's base. Like it could be a really small map, but you know, if you have to like go through a maze to actually get to your opponent's base, it'll feel really long. So this is one of those maps where like there's a lot of twists and turns in the middle of the map, and it actually has a pretty long rush distance just to get to your opponent's base.
And we do see have Cuz in the top right, and we do have Candide at bottom left, and we will probably see a few small battles over the two Zeldnaga towers, as the actual vision they give on this map, since it's so narrow, is so large.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you control those watchtowers, like you will see pretty much most attacks coming at you. I think to actually avoid that, you might have to go through the air route through the sides of the map, or just like take a completely roundabout route just to get to your opponent's base.
Oh, ooh, we just seen an error from Candide. He pulled all his SUVs on accident, and he only meant to pull the one. That's gonna set him back a few seconds.
Yeah, that really sucks. Considering like each SCV like mines like 40 minerals per minute, and you pull everything, and they're not mining for a couple seconds, like that kind of adds up. And not only that, but like it's at the very beginning of the game. It's really bad.
I've done it before, and I know it sets you back at least 5 seconds. I mean, it's pretty big.
Yeah, you might think it's just like two nerds going out and like, oh, it's a huge deal, but it's like going in a race, like a race car race. The checkered flag, or not the checkered flag, it's like 3, 2, 1, go, and you hit the gas pedal, but it actually doesn't go. So you're just like, sitting in the starting fin line for like 2 seconds, like, oh, it's not a big deal, it's 2 seconds. No, it's huge. You can't accelerate, you can't go anywhere, you're already behind so much. Like, it's more than the 2 seconds that you were just sitting there, so yeah, that kind of sucks.
And we know in StarCraft, your mining increases exponentially. It doesn't increase linearly, so if you screw up small, it screws up a lot big.
Yeah, it really does suck.
We know Protoss do have the Chrono Boost. I like to call it Chrono Boost. What do you guys usually call it? Just Chrono?
Yeah, Chrono Boost, Chrono, CV, like that's all right.
So we have 17 probes versus 15, and we see Cuz going for a standard gateway.